Good morning guys. Morning Balas, morning Zypher, just me. How we all doing? Welcome. Hope you all having a good morning. Sorry I'm running a little bit late this morning, but we'll get straight into it and hopefully manage to catch some moves. Morning Antonio, welcome. Just gonna give it a couple of minutes and then we'll get into the breakdown, guys. Proper strong move on gold last night. We do know that now Russia has more or less gone ahead with their plans of invasion, and that was obviously later yesterday, or actually earlier this morning, 5:35 my time this morning, so a few hours ago, and you can see the price of gold just absolutely skyrocketed. We're up into the mid 1900s, so we can expect that. I think there is going to be a continuation, to be honest with you. There's going to be a bullish continuation on gold. Taking sells at this point on gold is just going to be ridiculous. You know, it's definitely not going to be worth it, but I definitely think in the long run we could see ourselves heading up to at least 1957, if not further. And just depending on how intense this sort of situation gets, obviously that's just going to add to it. So 2000, I mean, it's not undoable, that's for sure, so it can definitely be done. If we look at the last time price was at that sort of point, where's our 2000 point? Yeah, 2021 roughly, no, a bit earlier, 2020. Good morning, Nick. Welcome. Okay, what are we looking? GJ has also been very bearish, guys. Obviously, also to do with fundamentals that came out. That's obviously going to force us to start moving down. So at the moment, we are sitting in a bit of a situation, but I think that based on price action, I was looking to the left. World War III, exactly. I was looking to the left. There isn't much clean price action from where price currently is. So if we shift that down, we go look to the left, you can see we're coming into a whole bunch of areas of support, and it's going to be very hard to trade into these areas. We also don't have much range to trade into. You can see 8 pips. If we get below this point down here, you know, 9 pips. It's not very clean price action at all. So what we're going to want to see is possibly after a nice strong move is a nice pullback, and then we're going to have to sell it at a higher price. So maybe if we start forming some resistance here after pulling back, we can start selling back down to the lows, because if we're going to try to sell below point, we're just going to be selling into support areas. So that's not going to be very likely. Obviously our market structure is now bearish on all time frames except for the daily time frame. Our market structure on the daily, obviously we still take it from the high which we had created all this time ago, and then this was a point which needed to be exceeded, or a new high needed to be created. So neither of those have happened. So we are still bullish in daily market structure. However, if we look at the daily candle and the daily trend, you can see that we are strong bearish, and then all our other time frames are bearish. So that's not an issue at all. Sells is definitely my bias for the day, and I'll be looking for some pullbacks to take some sells back down to the lows. Like I said, taking sells into this sort of price action, you can see what we're selling into even on the 4 hour. It's not great. Are South African forces going to war? I don't think South Africa is going to get involved. I mean, what are we going to do to Russia? We need a candle close below the wick for market structure to flip on the daily. Let me just quickly check. Yeah, so it needs to close below this, because you always take it from the low. So although this is our candle pullback, you always take it from the lowest points. That's going to be this wick down here. and then we will be bearish in market structure. I know, it'll be very interesting to see which countries are going to get involved. I don't think picking a fight with Russia is on South Africa's sort of thing, to-do list, but I could be wrong. Yeah, no stress, Nick. On gold, guys, I mean, if you are going to be taking anything but buys, if you're going to be looking for sells, you have balls of steel, because the market structure is just so bullish, as well as the current news situation. Obviously, if we even got candle closes below this level with all this clean candles to left, I would still not be interested in taking sells, because you could get down to this point and all of a sudden some bombs start going off and then we start going like this again. So fundamentally, let's just stay away from any sells on gold. Let's try ride this buy wave as much as possible. Obviously, we are at a very high price right now, but like discussed earlier, if we get above this 1949 level after a proper retest, you can see we have formed now some 30-minute support after forming resistance and broken above that resistance. So if we get above 1949, if we go look back here, I'll show you why I've marked these areas out. It was quite far back. You can see the clean candles which we have to the left. So we have clean candles to trade into. That is a massive range to trade into. So it's not saying that we're going to be able to do this all at once, but I mean, there's a good chance that we can get up to that level eventually. So yeah, let's wait and see with that. Otherwise, we can wait for markets open, London open on GJ, see if we can get some further continuation sells. But for me, how price action is below this 154.23 area, I don't think that I'll be too interested in taking the sells. Rather wait for, even if we do start coming up a little bit, and then take some at a better price. Would it make sense to take exhaustion into consideration on gold? Definitely would. I do think that there's a chance that we might come down to maybe this support level and then start moving up. But when you have the fundamental news that we have at the moment, the amount of volume, I mean, this was, yeah, I mean, 300 pips. So we have moved far, but you can just see that the sheer volume in the market based on the last few hours is insane. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. But I would say exhaustion. What I would also do is, just because it's fundamentals and you can see there is a lot of strong moves happening, I don't think that we should all of a sudden just forget about what our confluences are and what we're going to be looking for. Just because we see these big moves, don't get, worried about, oh, I want to catch the next big move, because these are very hard moves to catch. What you need to do is have experience to catch these moves, and you need to be trading at these times. If this was like London or New York, I think I would have been able to, based on the high time frames. But this was 4:30 in the morning, 5:30, 6. I don't trade those hours. So I'm not going to change my hours for the markets. But yeah, let's wait for our confluences, let's wait for our candle closes. I'm hoping to get a candle close above 1949.05 and then hoping to see bullish continuation. Do seem to be coming up a little bit, which is good. If you guys have any charts or anything, I don't think there are any Telegram charts just yet, but these aren't these aren't tough charts to mark out and tough pairs to trade at the moment. Just trade with the trend. One's trending bearish, one's trending bullish. Only look for buys on gold, only look for sells on GJ, and what we got to do for that is wait for our candle confirmations. Obviously, if you are going to mark a little bit more aggressively, look at the 15-minute time frame. You can see we do have a strong resistance level at about 1945.30 because we've rejected it already 3 times based on the 15-minute time frame. So if we can get a candle close above that level, like I said, we have some very nice clean candles to the left up to about 1957. So yeah, could be some nice buys above that level. That's what I'm going to be looking for. So let's put here. Okay, we did close without a top wick though. I'm not even going to put potential sells here. If needs be, would you go to war? I would not like to go to war, no. My dad was in war and he said it was the toughest thing he's ever done. So I don't think I would like to go to war. War's also different nowadays though. A lot more distance stuff. Morning Sharif, welcome. If we can get this wick down and then break at this point, I don't think I'll be keen on entries until we clear this wick. Fortunately though, then it's going to be a massive stop loss. So let's just wait and see. It's not the greatest candle close. We also have London Open coming in right now. Not interested in buys at all on GJ. Let's say waiting for resistance to form. Let's wait and see. See what we can get. I live in one of the countries of the European Union. Our country is under NATO protection, but it's bad to think that a rocket crashed at Ukraine airport 600 kilometers away. Exactly, and 600 kilometers is not that far away at all. So it's just, yeah, I definitely feel sorry for the European countries surrounding Ukraine, because hopefully they don't get pulled into the situation and then it starts affecting everyone. So yeah, keep safe there, Balas. Keep safe. We are going to be looking at some fundamentals coming in today. Obviously, we have the preliminary GDP quarterly coming in on the US dollar and some unemployment claims. This is half an hour after New York Open. Going to be, I think, some pretty high impact news. Obviously, we have some other fundamentals going on, but that means we can't just ignore this sort of stuff as well. And then we also have the oil inventories and FOMC sort of chats. So that's also very important to remember, guys. There is some medium impact pound news as well coming in, but this is way after my trading times and probably after a lot of your guys as well, I'm assuming. It's 8 at night for me. If we're going to be looking at tomorrow, Friday, we have some high impact US dollar news coming through, and then also some medium impact. So also something just to be aware of. Other than that, no real heavy impact pound news coming through anytime soon, except for except for the medium impact coming in a bit later. So just be aware of that. Yeah, gold closing without a top wick definitely is a bit of an issue. Unless now we wick down and then break the high. Very, very minimal volume coming in at the moment. Okay, on the much higher time frames of GJ, obviously now we've broken out of that daily range which we were trapped in. That means that there is a possibility. You can see how easily we have recently moved in this sort of area. So we could see ourselves at some point getting back down to this 153,400 level. That's definitely a possibility and something we can be looking for. Obviously, we are coming towards the end of the week now as well, so we can take a look at the weekly candle and see that we have broken now that previous weekly support, which was last week's candle, which formed pretty weak bullish. So we broke the low of that, and then obviously with that volume that we had coming in today, due to the fundamentals, we just absolutely sent it down. So we probably could come down to at least 153,895 or 152,972. Just got to wait and see at this point. Yep, one of those waiting points. Check out Bitcoin quickly. All the way down at 35,000. What a tumble this took. Not looking great. I mean, if we break through this support level, which we formed at 34,000 and get a candle close, this could be coming back down to 29,000. Very, very bearish at the moment. Don't know how the fundamentals at the moment are affecting Bitcoin. You can see the last 4 months have just been crash after crash. Yeah, gold's not really doing much at the moment. These are options for the day, guys. Where's Anon? Where's Anon when we need him? Anon's definitely selling below 1933, I'll tell you that much. Yeah, there's going to be some extreme counter trend sells above 154.980. So obviously I understand that we have the clean candles to the left, but you can see exactly how we're trending at the moment. So taking sells on, taking buys on GJ is just going to be stupid. What I would do is, even if price does get up above this level, there's a very good chance we're going to reject this support or this resistance and then come back down, and then you'll find me in the sells. There's no point in getting involved in anything else there. This 50 minutes probably going to come straight back into the range. Range a little bit on the 15 minute on GJ as well. Very, very low volume at the moment, which isn't doing us any favors. What have we got? We got 3 more trading days this month, guys. So we got today, tomorrow, and Monday, and then that's our February done. So hopefully by now we should all be sitting pretty decently, I would say. If you've been trading the whole month, that is. Even if you've just been trading the past couple of weeks, you know, you'll have an idea of how it's been going. So yeah, 3 more days. Hopefully make the most of it. I don't even know if I will be taking any more trades, but yeah, just gonna have to wait and see. See what we've got in store next week. Monday, hardly anything. Well, nothing affecting what I trade. Next week we do have NFP. So on Tuesday we have manufacturing PMI, some medium impact pound news, some very light impact yen news. Then we got ADP on Wednesday. Yeah, that's going to be big. And Canadian dollar stuff. So yeah, ADP and NFP are big news events next week. So let's be very wary of those. This month, all my affirmations are starting to come true. Amazing, Tony. Amazing. Keep it up. Because once you've managed to have a successful month, that's when you need to do it. Just make it, you know, make your routine repetitive. Once you do 1 month, do exactly what you did that month and copy and paste it into the next month and so on. And then that is how you start building that sort of confidence in your trading, and you'll notice a massive difference from the moment you start doing that. Thanks for everything. I definitely appreciate you. Appreciate all the support. And no problem whatsoever. I think that's the benefit of these live streams, as well as you know, all the other guys who do the live streams that I talk about often, like so Raja, and then obviously Matt Todd when he does the Todd Capital Group, is there's so much available teaching trading the right way, you know, for free on the internet. So rather go and find those sorts of channels than the ones which are, don't want to get into it again, but the ones who are advertising all the wrong sort of stuff. I think Raja actually made 70k or 60k on his gold buys. He had buy stop set last night on this move. He would have made 100 if he had secured, but I don't think he was at the charts and then secured it around down here or here. I think we just got to wait on gold. Maybe there is going to be a little bit more ranging, but remember, when we range on gold, all that means is the longer we range for, the bigger the move is going to be. So we could have a nice strong move after a little bit of a range. Don't get too caught up in this. I understand some people are going to be taking long positions based on the potential of gold has to inevitably go up if there is a war, but just be careful with that. Try not to trade the range if you can, and then take the safer sort of entries above this 1946.35 level. I think that that's going to help a lot. Let's see what the monthly, GJ rejected that monthly resistance, so that means there's a chance we could come back down to this. You can see we have been trapped in a monthly range. We've been bouncing in between this resistance level and this support level on GJ. So if we do, you can see we've tapped into this resistance. We've formed resistance last month on that previous level of resistance, and now this is leaving a large rejection wick to the top side. And now if we can start coming down and forming a bit of a stronger body, a stronger bearish body before Monday, or after Monday, because Monday obviously this candle is going to close, then we can maybe see the following candle start coming down within this monthly range, and we can see ourselves retesting the bottom of the monthly range. Obviously that's going to take time. These things do. Maybe that's when we drop down to the lower higher time frame, so the daily, and we can see where we can come down to. You can see if we do get below this point, we can come all the way down to 150. Definitely something to take a look at. So yeah, this is exactly what I'm doing on GJ, guys. Waiting for that pullback and then waiting for that resistance to form and then trading. We're going to try and look for entries based on obviously candle formations and candle setups. We can't just take a trade after resistance is formed, but we want to see then the low time frame supports being broken, such as the 15 and the 5 minutes, and then that will be our sells with the trend, because obviously hopefully we will be able to get up to a level of resistance, form resistance, or come up even higher to this level of support, retest it, form some resistance on that previous level of support, so that's your support turned resistance, and then retest these lows. It might take a little while to get down to these lows again, but we should be able to scale into some entries on the way down. Try find them somewhere. Those are my GJ plans. No buys. Unless we get all the way above here and then we have a structural flip. But at the moment, not interested in that at all. Four-hour candles also closing in an hour and a half, something to also be aware of. This 4-hour candle looks to be trying to form some resistance, but very weak at the moment. It's basically a doji. Ideally would have liked to have seen a wick full and then continuation to 1957. That would have been, you know, the best possible outcome, but we might only get that a little bit later, which is fine. 50-minute time frame is going to be very important to use today on gold. It's going to tell us a little bit about this range. Very boring London session, as per usual. Lots happened. I would go over some trades which I took yesterday if I actually took any after our stream, but I did not. So just had that losing trade on stream. Tide. Came down 100 pips on GJ this morning. That's a decent amount. Extremely low volume, yeah. Which obviously isn't ideal because we do need to, well, we need to see a bit of a pullback. I feel like almost on both of these pairs. Maybe I'd be happy to see us respecting the bottom of this range and then coming back up. We do need a break out of it though. And then GJ obviously, let's see if we form resistance at this sort of level. Yeah, we got some 60 pips to trade into. We just need to, what we need to do is form resistance here, here, or here. That will be basically be our pullback. So this is going to be our pullback. And then what we want to do is obviously trade with the trend. So how do we trade with the trend? When we're downtrending, we wait for resistance to form at a previous level of resistance or previous level of support. And then what that indicates to us is that our retest is complete. And then we wait for that resistance to form. So what that's going to come in is the form of a bearish candle. And then entry is going to be once a new candle breaks a low of our resistance candle. So I'm just visualizing at the moment exactly what I want to see, and that's going to be either this candle closing strong bullish and then some resistance forming on the next candle, or another few bullish candles and then some resistance forming up here, and then going to see about some entries back down to the lows. That's at the moment what I'm visualizing. This candle closes in 2 minutes, and 30-minute candle is also closing in 2 minutes. So let's see where we close. If we close on this resistance, might be indication that if we form some maybe 15-minute resistance, it's a bit low confirmation, but we are very strong bearish right now. So let's see. Looks like this 15-minute candle might even flip bullish on gold. And then that'll be us respecting this level of support which we've just formed. Again, still only looking at these buys. But yeah, this volume at the moment is terrible, so just be patient. We might only get a move at NY. Just want to see how this candle closes. Looks like we might close on this resistance. Yeah, we have now closed on that resistance. Okay, so now obviously that's, for me, that's not a strong enough confirmation to just take a sell. I know a lot of people, they'll sell as soon as a candle closes on resistance. So you can see we've basically tapped into this resistance, rejected it, and that's how the candle's closed. For me, that's not a strong enough confirmation. What I need to see is now a bearish candle form, and then what that indicates to us is that, okay, this resistance has now been respected. This does not tell us that the resistance has been respected, because this very next candle could wick down and then continue to the next resistance level. And then the next candle could do the exact same thing to this support level without that candle confirmation of resistance, new resistance forming. So let's wait for this 30-minute candle to form. Obviously, if you're going to be looking at it more aggressively, you can then wait for a 15-minute candle to form bearish and then say, okay, that's 15-minute resistance. That is a strong enough confirmation. For me, I prefer to see the 30-minute. 15-minute is quite a low time frame, meaning that it isn't the strongest confirmation time frame, whereas a 30-minute candle close would do a lot. I'm just worried about how far it could come down. We got about 36 pips back down to the low here. So if we are going to retest the low, we obviously don't want this candle, if we're going to base it off of this forming resistance at this level, we don't want this candle pushing too far down already. Also respected a 15-minute support level over here, didn't close below it and kind of tapped it into it. So we now need to form some 15-minute support here to completely respect that level. Similar to what happened here, respected, here, respected. So let's see if we can form support and then respect that level again. Kind of like a wave on the 5-minute. Just gotta ride them and wait for that candle close. Definitely see a possibility of us coming back down to 1933 and then maybe coming up a bit later on in the day. Gotta watch out for, we have those unemployment claims coming in today and preliminary GDP. Just two little things to watch out for. Let's see. Not interested in the counter trend sells at all, by the way, on gold. Only buys. Only buys. Here we go, Renan. I love gold. Gold Whisperer. This might just go. Is GJ in the range? It's not really ranging as such, but it's just not, it's no clean areas to trade into at the moment. What I was hoping for was some resistance to form, and then we're going to retest this low down here. But if this candle pushes like down to this point, then there's not going to be the opportunity. Which it looks like it is pushing quite strong already. I hope you're well, very well, thanks to yourself, Blip. Do you think no bottom wick on the daily is not relevant in cases like these? Yeah, when fundamentals come in, they cancel basically all technicals. So not cancel all technicals, but I mean stuff like a war, you know, you can't base it on technicals like bottom wicks and things like that. So I'd say I think daily yesterday on gold didn't have a bottom wick. Yeah. Oh no, today on gold doesn't have a bottom wick. So yeah, I would say we're probably pretty good. You can see how much we've pushed already. We might be continuing that way. Let's see what we can get. Let's see. Maybe some nice 30-minute support on gold. Yeah, listen to Ronan, guys. Please remember to leave a like on the stream. If you have not already. No, I've been looking at this quite a lot, and I think that maybe on the 5 minute, when we're in such a strong trend in one direction, so we're on an extremely strong bearish trend at the moment on GJ, obviously then we tapped into that zone, form resistance, form support, broke that support. Just trying to justify an entry based on the lower time frames, because missing something like this to retest the low would, you know, it's a shame. So, but if the higher time frames aren't giving you the indication, such as 30-minute or even the 50-minute, there wasn't even 50-minute support, but 5-minute, sorry, resistance, but 5-minute did form resistance and did break a support. Let's just see how much it moved. Only 7 pips, which isn't a huge amount. Yeah, might just be worth waiting. Not interested at the moment. Got about 5 or 10 minutes left, guys. So if you have any last questions, anything you want to talk about when it comes to any other pairs, please let me know. Otherwise, yeah, we're just going to be waiting for this 15-minute candle to close, and then I think that'll be that. Yeah, then it'll be 11:45 my time. Like I said, guys, I have two very clean ideas of what I want to see. I'm only going to take buys on gold, and it's probably only going to come above 1946, and I'm only going to take sells on GJ, and at the moment those are kind of already happening and I was not involved in them. But I have a very strong bearish bias on GJ and a very strong bullish bias on gold. So don't, if you are planning on trading one or the other, maybe try not to counter trend trade. Yeah, we're coming down quite a lot. Gold needs to continue its little shuffle up. So yeah, that's basically the move I wanted on GJ. That's already happened, which is a little bit annoying. This is what it is though. Buy stops and sell stops is a particular scenario where you would only choose to use this method. Obviously in a time of high volume, there's certainly times where you would trade using buy stops and sell stops as well as fundamentals. Whenever there's a very strong news event coming out, like ADP or NFP, I always say buys and sell stops. But in this sort of situation, just because of, you can see if you had a buy stop set here at this level above the highs which we had created, let's go to the right time frame, above these highs which we had created, you can see we also got the candle close above that level, and then you saw that strong push. So when there's a time of extremely high volume, and I would call this a time of extremely high volume in the markets, then I would say trading with buy stops and sell stops are much more likely to play out. Otherwise, yeah, just market execute, you know. You have a lot more control over market execution. Problem with market executions though is if you are second guessing your trade, and now let's say you have got the perfect candle set up, boom boom, and then you get the wick down, and this candle then decides to push up, and your entry is meant to be here, and now you think to yourself, okay, but shouldn't I? And instead of setting a stop, now what you're going to do is you're going to market execute it, and you're a bit worried about the entry, then you only end up entering around here after it's pushed already like an extra 2 or 3 pips, just because of the concern that what if it doesn't work out. Whereas if you have the buy stop set and you're confident in the idea of the trade playing out, you're going to get the best possible entry. That's the only way I look at buy and sell stops, really. Candle's about to close. Stronger support would have been nice, but you know, it's not bad. just seem to be enjoying this range. Let me just take one last look. Okay, so yeah, like I said guys, only looking for buys on gold, only looking for sells on GJ, and GJ is gone. So obviously if you are trading GJ, there is a 19 pip range down here, but no, I've already, you know, in my opinion, I've missed the move, so I'm not gonna be taking a sell based on the break of this low, or even if this wicks up and then goes down. If that plays out, it is what it is, and if we retest this low, it is what it is. But I'm not going to get involved. If I was going to get involved in this move, I would have liked to at a high point. Unfortunately, I missed out. So just got to be disciplined in those situations. Just understand and accept that you missed the move. Don't get FOMO. Don't try grab the late, you know, the last. I always call it chasing the crumbs of the move. You want to be involved right from the beginning, the most optimal point. So yeah, that is my ideas for the day. Still, again guys, please don't counter trend trade GJ. Only look for sells if you are going to be trading it, and I'd say only look for buys on gold. This is a perfect opportunity to be buying gold. Just wait for those candle closes. Like I said, just because there's very high volume and lots of fundamentals doesn't mean you shouldn't trade your style of trading or your way of understanding how price moves. So stick to your rules, stick to your confidences. I will be possibly not going to be streaming tomorrow morning. I do have something which I need to do tonight, and then may not be back in time tomorrow morning. So I will I'll most likely I'll definitely be doing an afternoon session tomorrow, but that might just be on the Discord rather than a stream. So I'll keep you guys all updated on Telegram. Otherwise, let's chat on the Telegram and we can see how we're all doing today. And yeah, you guys know my ideas now, and wait for the candle closes. But yeah, thank you for all the support, guys. I will see you guys all later on, most probably on the Telegram. Otherwise, possibly tomorrow morning. Otherwise, definitely tomorrow afternoon. But yeah, appreciate it all. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Tony, very much. Thank you, everyone else. Ron, Blip, Balas. Have a great day as well, everyone else. Cheers, guys. Enjoy and trade safely, please. Thanks, Sharif, as well. Thank you.